Everyone, Dev with Crime Hive, and in this true crime video we're going to talk about the Lauren Scharf video that she put out in relation to Barry Morphew and the retaining wall job that was done on Mother's Day, May 10th. Now we're going to get into the key takeaways. If you want to watch the full video, you can do that on her channel here, where she goes into detail about her findings from her research, from her investigation. And before I get into those takeaways, I just want to point out one quick thing here as well related to the Suzanne Morphew case. And we've learned that many of you know that that Adventures with Purpose came out to help search for Suzanne. So if you don't know who they are, professional dive team, they go out all around the country. They've recovered bodies, vehicles, guns, all sorts of things. So they came out, and I actually just saw part of a live video that they just did. So apparently they're done with this search. But what they do is, in this article here at Fox 21 News, they talked about how they were going to start with sonar, do side scans, scan 360. If they see something, they suit up in their dive gear, and then they investigate further. So that's what they do. They've had a lot of success, and a lot of people follow them. Very good team. And I learned just today even that they had finished up with this search. So what and you can go and listen to their videos about it. Sounds like their mission was cut short. They had several different areas, bodies of water, mines that they were going to search for Suzanne, and it was cut short because of ice, because of cold weather in Colorado. And they did do some searching, so I'm sure they're going to have some videos on that. They may or may not have found something of interest. They did find a female shirt that appeared to be, maybe it looked like possible stab wounds and bullet holes in the shirt. May not be related to Suzanne. Don't know about that. We can certainly just keep an eye on that. But yeah, they were out there searching, and it's great that they came out there. Doesn't look like they ultimately found Suzanne, which was unfortunate. But you got to give it up to them for being out there, especially in the weather, and going out there and doing that. So wanted to give that quick update about them, and just on that last note with that, it just goes to tell you there's so many people joining together online, these online communities, really trying to put resources together to find Suzanne. And it's quite amazing to see this. And so a lot of people, we're just wondering when she's going to be found. It's just not really a question of if, it's just when, because of all this information coming through the social networks and everybody putting their minds together. These communities are awesome. So wanted to get back to the video here and the takeaways from Lauren Scharf. Now, what I really gathered, and I just took some notes here, and again, you can watch the full video. What I learned was a company called Garrett Construction hired another company called EA Outdoor Services. EA Outdoor Services is owned by someone named Tony Miller. He's the president of them, and it turns out he's a lifelong friend of Barry Morphew. Now, this is what he looks like. He, pretty big operation, pretty big business out in Indiana, based in Indiana. And there's a connection between Barry and this company and this man, Tony Miller. Don't know much about him. Curious in the comments below if you guys know much about this, if you've heard anything in relation to his relationship with Barry. And then what we learned from there is Lauren apparently has a source. She interviewed this anonymous Indiana worker who appears to be connected to EA Outdoor Services, Garrett Construction. Don't know who this person is. Maybe some of you do. And if you do, certainly comment below. Again, we want to keep the community thriving. A lot of good information comes through those comments. And this person said that he originally didn't know Barry would be doing this job. It's pretty interesting because he only knew of him after Suzanne went missing. Now, he knew in his mind, according to meetings, all the information that was gathered, that this job was supposed to be done on Monday, May 11th, not on Mother's Day, May 10th. Reason being is, especially in Broomfield, every county, every city has their own ordinances, but Broomfield has an ordinance that says you cannot do those types of jobs on the weekends or holidays unless it's an emergency or you've pulled a permit for a specific reason to do that. Well, we learned from Lauren, no permits had been pulled for that job on Sunday. Yet we know Barry was out there working on Sunday. Some speculate he was there out all day on Sunday working there, and by law was not supposed to actually be doing that with this ordinance. So and apparently he should have known that, because this anonymous worker said that there were meetings with him, Tony Miller, Barry. They all knew that they were all on the same page that the job was not supposed to be done on a weekend, and they would kick it off on Monday. So I don't know again who this person is, but a couple things that was also mentioned. I just mentioned the permit. I mentioned all that there. So a couple other things here is this same worker thought that Barry had not done any work originally because the company would not have allowed that. So that was kind of a no-no, and so he was surprised to even think that Barry had done that, because in his mind, he said the thought of Barry saying that he had to be there on Mother's Day was a lie. And so the job wasn't urgent. It wasn't an emergency. It did not need to be rushed. And, there's just so many suspicious things. A couple things, okay, a couple red flags, okay, but when there just seems to be so many suspicious aspects here, it just makes you raise an eyebrow and wonder what is going on. So again, don't know if Barry's involved. We don't know, right? Don't have enough evidence. Don't have enough information to support that. But this is the information we're getting. Now, the other thing was apparently this job, and Lauren has interviewed, Morgan, the other workers. I've got other videos on this as well you can check out. But she's got boots on the ground. She's going through records. She learned from Morgan that Barry was out there working on Sunday, and that they didn't have the equipment that was needed. Apparently, a Bobcat was really needed for this type of project, but they didn't have access to that. So the materials were not there, and the job was done very poorly. It just seemed like a very quick, hastily done job. It actually, according to this worker, looked worse than how it was before. And so it basically had to be redone after that, after Barry's crew had come in there and done this slop job, apparently. So pretty interesting learning from that. And then we learned a couple more things as we go through here, that this same worker said that if Tony needed to order material for them, he would have. But records show that nothing was ordered for Barry's crew. And Lauren went on to say that Tony had ordered materials back in October 2019 for the first job at that same location, but had not since then. So pretty interesting there. And then a couple more details that she pointed out, a couple more takeaways. She talked about Garrett Construction normally would have an inspector come out to observe the job to collect soil sampling, to get data for the sampling. This didn't happen. Apparently this is something that needs to happen, but no material was available. Again, no material was available, so the general contractor couldn't send out the inspector to come out, and this was even if they were notified. So just, little segment after little segment of just suspicion here, and we're just trying to get answers and try to understand more of what happened. So EA Outdoors apparently would have had somebody come out to monitor the project as well, and that's what they say that they do. So Lauren, of course, tries to contact Tony Miller. No contact by Tony Miller. Tony Miller, we don't know if he was out there monitoring this job. Was somebody else from the team? We don't know that. And then a couple other things she mentioned. She brought up kind of speculation as to, was the hotel room even really searched? She went searching for records, couldn't find records on, with Broomfield, with the hotel room being searched. No record of Broomfield assisting Chaffee County. Again, FBI is involved, though. You've got other agencies involved. There may be information we're not privy to right now. Things are hush-hush. Obviously, we've known that from the beginning. We're very limited on information. So I don't know if the hotel room has or has not been searched, but obviously we would hope that law enforcement did their due diligence in that aspect and did search, especially since they were in that area looking for surveillance cameras and trying to question potential witnesses in that area around that time. So curious on that. And then we know that this was a really big takeaway, and this is probably the last one I'm going to mention. This is the last one I took notes on. The job was redone, but apparently the original footing that goes down or that goes behind the wall was not removed. So there was a section that was completely not dug up. It was flat. It was kind of flattened out, and the job was done over that material. So the whole thing wasn't dug up. So it kind of brought up speculation. Was that area even searched? This worker does not think so. Does not think that area was searched in Broomfield. We wonder if the canine dogs came out to search that area in Broomfield. So a lot of people are now drawing their attention to that specific area, not necessarily near Salida or the areas around, Barry Morphew's property. You got to wonder about this location because of just the suspicion on this project and how everything went down with it, and the facts that we're starting to get more access to and more information about. So I'd encourage you to watch that video fully. Let me know your thoughts on it as well. Yeah, a lot of insight. Again, if you're familiar with Lauren Scharf, she's been investigating this case for some time. Professional journalist. She's been putting pieces together herself, and we appreciate that. So again, this is Dev with Crime Hive. If you have any questions, again, comment below, like, share, subscribe to this channel if you followed me this far, and we'll be back in another video soon. Y'all take care. Thanks.